The very first step in learning how to play the violin very well is learning how to hold the bow. So I know it might seem kind of weird that we're starting with the bow, not the violin. You have to realize that your bow is kind of like the breath control of a singer. No matter how great your vocal cords are, if you cannot breathe properly, I mean, you cannot sing, right? So the first step to having a great bow arm, to draw the bow well, is actually to hold the bow well, because it's kind of like golf or tennis. If your grip is bad, then you have no chance to have a good swing, you know? Every time you swing, you will lose your grip or something weird will happen, and all your practice on form in other parts of your swing are going to be useless, right? So very important. Bow hold is extremely important. I'm going to teach you very standard bow hold, more in the tradition of what's called the Franco-Belgian. But once you learn this style, if you want to change to another style, it's very easy because the basics are the same. So first, very important is your thumb. So first, shake your hand out to make sure you're not making any weird shapes. Your hand ultimately, you know, even when you hold the bow, should look very natural, as if it's the hand of a baby, you know, like a baby just kind of relaxed, and everything curved, right? So first, shake out. Next, take with your relaxed thumb but bent thumb, put your thumb between this leather wrapping and the bump in the the frog, right here. So put your thumb in that space at an angle, a 45-degree angle. So put it in like this, and see how the fleshy part of my thumb is supported by this side of the frog, and see how kind of the corner of my thumb, where the fingernail and skin meet, is kind of supported at the other end by the leather, right? So it kind of gives you a bit of an anchor right there. And the placement of the thumb is so important, and your thumb should never lose its curvature. It should never be straightened like this, always be curved to some degree. And it should also never lose its contact right here. It should never slip out and go. It should always be there. Next up, the two middle fingers, wrap them all the way around the stick to cover the entire black square. Nice. Now, as you'll probably notice that since your thumb is already at a 45-degree angle, your hand will naturally be slightly turned this way. That's perfect. Next, bring your index finger down, not too far from the hand. You might think that since the stick is long, spreading your fingers might give you more control. However, according to the experience of many violinists, for some reason it's kind of the hand, I suppose, it's kind of like a boxer's fist. When the fingers are together, you have more strength and control, right? When the fingers are working closer together. It's kind of like the fist. You know, you would never make a fist like this. And the stick is so long that unless you have hands that are like 2 feet long, it's not possible to adequately cover the entire length of the bow. So it's better to concentrate greater strength at one end of the bow than to try to inadequately spread your fingers all over the bow. So keep your index finger close to the middle fingers. Good. And then lastly, your pinky comes along as the balance. See? So you round it, and then I'll show you from this angle. Like this. As you can see, without the pinky, the bow drops. The pinky is what balances the bow, but these 3 middle fingers are what really hold the bow, or keep. It's kind of like the main anchor for the bow, and this index finger is kind of like the finger that provides the most leverage when you want to kind of rotate your hand this way or that to change where you put your weight in the bow.